The Prime Minister is in Beijing for just 24 hours as she looks to smooth tensions in the relationship between New Zealand and its largest trading partner. Ms Ardern cut her long-anticipated first trip to China as Prime Minister short after the Christchurch terror attacks. Our political editor Jane Patterson is in Beijing and filed this report.
The embassy in Beijing was first established in the 1980s, shortly after China and New Zealand developed diplomatic relations. Embassy staff have been in temporary quarters till last June, while the brand new embassy and residence was being built.
It is my pleasure to now officially declare the embassy open.
First order of the day for Ms Ardern was officially opening the embassy with her partner Clark Gayford and greeting the 70 or so staff. But there were more challenging issues ahead as Ms Ardern prepared to meet Premier Li Keqiang at the Great Hall of the People. One of the most pressing is Huawei, after the GCSB's initial rejection of Spark's bid to use the Chinese telco in its 5G network. It could end up in the hands of Cabinet Minister Andrew Little for a final decision, but Jacinda Ardern insists it's not a political decision.
How it sits with the vendor, that's a really important regulatory regime we have. It's there to support and strengthen New Zealand's national security interests, and it sits separate of us.
But there are other dynamics at play, including a strong pushback from Five Eyes partners, especially the United States, warning about the risks to national security. Ms Ardern insists that has no influence on New Zealand's decisions.
I see those as matters for those individual countries. Yes, they are members of Five Eyes, but actually New Zealand makes its decisions independently. Our process is set out by the TICSA legislation, not by Five Eyes or not by what any Five Eyes partner does.
So is there no political element to this at all in terms of our dealings with our allies or our Five Eyes partners?
No, there's not.
Last year, New Zealand, alongside Five Eyes partners, attributed cyber attacks to China. But Ms Ardern says that's not about singling out individual countries.
Because then I think we run the risk of not being attuned to the range of areas where which we may be confronting challenges.
China was singled out. It was attributed by the GCSB and other Five Eyes
and so has
partners.
North Korea, and so has Russia. And I think what you find in those cybersecurity issues that we have faced, often we're caught up because there are vulnerabilities in our system, not necessarily because we're targets.
Ms Ardern was then welcomed to the Great Hall of the People before a formal meeting with Premier Li in the East Hall. He gave his condolences to the people of Christchurch after the terror attack. Ms Ardern thanked him for his words before settling into the business end of the talks. The official programme continues tonight when Ms Ardern will meet with President Xi Jinping, also at the Great Hall of the People. In Beijing for Checkpoint, Jane Patterson.